Alrighty guys, so this is just kind of an experiment. If this is not something that you guys want or you guys don't find it useful, just let me know. It's not going to hurt my feelings any. Also, to preface this a little bit, most of the players on our scrim team were not Viva players. There was just 2 of us. This is also a 5v5 because we didn't have enough people. And a lot of the people in this scrim are much lower SR than our average. So a lot of these mistakes are ones that you probably know better, and are probably ones that you don't make in-game. But this is just kind of an example of what I was thinking of doing, recording all of our scrims and just kind of voicing over things that I see we could do better, or even things that we've done really well. I don't think it needs to be that type of video where it's just criticizing everyone's gameplay, because I don't think that's productive, and this is all just for fun. So if you have any questions, or if you want me to cover anything specific that I touch on but don't really go into detail, just let me know, and enjoy the video. Also, side note, I forgot to record the first half of this game, so that's why it's starting off on the second round. I'm so sorry. I'm such a bum. Okay, so starting off, you'll see that my Rhine Zarya are holding choke, which on this map is generally not a bad thing. But you'll see here in a second that they swap out their Soldier 76 for a Hanzo, which means they essentially have 2 snipers. So your backline squishies are going to be taking a lot of unnecessary damage. You'll see that myself, the Mercy, and the Hanzo are taking a lot of damage, and the Ana's at risk for taking a lot of damage as well. So either my squishies need to go up to choke, or my tanks need to fall back to a corner. The corners on this map are on hotel. Never count the statue as a corner. It's very big and it can be hard sometimes to see when the other team is folding in on you, especially if they go through like that movie theater thing on the other side of choke. So always hotel. There's 2 corners on it. That bubble right there for my Zarya is a great bubble, and it 1000% saved my Rhine. Also, what I noticed in this game, and I'm fully guilty of this, I just kind of AFK sometimes and do what I want, but ult tracking is going to be your good friend, so it doesn't hurt to go into practice ranges and just kind of play with different characters and see how quickly they gain their ults by doing certain things. My Rhine got shattered there, and if I were paying attention, I would have known that that Rhine had shatter and would have called it out. Typically, you want your supports ult tracking. That's one of those things that really comes with a lot of practice and time. So right here, I know whenever you're the only tank alive, it can be a little bit dicey on touching point. I don't think my Zarya realized that they had a double pocket, so she should have been trying to stay on point more, and staying within the LOS of the Ana is just really key. I think a lot of people forget that she's a line of sight healer. She's not going to be able to heal you if you're going around corners kind of weird. And I would say that here I didn't have to use my ult to contest. In fact, it's almost more beneficial that if you use your ult, you use it to get out than to touch point, because we weren't going to win that point anyways, and I would have been alive to help that Rhine, who is obviously struggling right now, so it's one thing I could definitely do better on my part. This next critique is more of a pet peeve if I'm being honest, but it's something you should be aware of as a tank player or a DPS. My Rhine is going to do this duck into the library thing, and it's so common for people to do it. See, he just did it there. And as a support player, it can be really hard to help whoever ducks into the library because you're having to take all this damage, and your chances of getting killed are so much higher. So just be really aware of what your enemies are doing, where your supports are, where your DPS are, because you might end up putting one of your other teammates in a bad situation that gets them killed, and then you lose the team fight. So say you're in a situation here where you're the only support alive and you're with a DPS player. Be sure that you are not within the LOS of one of their DPS, especially if you're Mercy. Your beam will stay connected for 3 seconds if you are peeked behind a wall, so really take advantage of that. We really just got lucky here and we're able to play slow enough for the rest of our team to come help us out, but a lot of the time you're not this lucky. So I really appreciate what my Rhine does here. He does that jump shield thing that really preserves his shield, so he takes a little bit of poke damage and then a little bit of shield damage. It honestly can be what saves you whenever you are going against a Bat Matrix or even Roadhog ult. If you do that like shield jump thing, you're more likely to survive. Granted, there are some things that are the exception to the rule, like nanoed Roadhog. Ignore what I'm doing here, I know I'm bad. Like nanoed Roadhog or a damage boost can make that difference as well. But generally speaking, that's what you want to do against those things because you're more likely to survive. And really, that's about it for my critiques. I didn't really see anything else that was too, like, egregiously bad or anything. Little mistakes happen. Just the higher elo you get, the more likely it is that you're going to pay for them. So if there's anything that you want me to go over, like I said, that I touched on but didn't go into detail, or if you just don't find these helpful, I also want to know that, because these can be a little time consuming, but I don't mind doing them. So if you have any questions, just let me know. I'm available on Discord most of the time, so